Question of the morning. Fresh off the Friday news dump. What are your favorite memories of Kyle Whittingham as the Utes head coach? This could have been a celebration. There are a lot of great memories, and it turned into a press release news dump. Maybe there would have been questions.
But
Maybe there would have been questions nobody wants to answer.
True to his word, here today, gone tomorrow. And I know he's still got another game to coach, DJ, but he didn't want the hoopla.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah. Jared Maxwell speaks for a lot of people. Two words. Sugar Bowl. Rumor has it that defense is still sacking the quarterback. Was there a better win? USC and Oregon, the conference title games, those are pretty good. Punching your ticket to the Rose Bowl, climbing to the top of the Pac-12. Man, Nick Saban over there getting ready to throw his headset, that's pretty good. 21-0, and a former Dallas Cowboy running back, Moose Johnson, on the broadcast. Wow. After a whole pregame of just these guys are going to get smoked. What are we doing here? These little guys can't compete. Barry Switzer, nobody on this team could even start for Oklahoma. They wouldn't recruit any of these guys, even though half the defense went to the NFL. Yeah, that was pretty sweet, Jared. I get why you posted Sugar Bowl. And the fourth quarter, it got better as it went along. I think the play-by-play is still out there. I think you can still find it. In the fourth quarter, I think they had like 3 plays that went for 4 yards or more. I mean, the offense was just completely tied in knots the entire fourth quarter. They couldn't run it. They couldn't throw it. Incomplete passes, sacks. Yeah, I get it, Jared. Now, of course, there are Cougar fans here who go to the exact opposite. If that was the best moment, Brent says Kyle dropping his headset out of frustration after Harling caught the game-winning touchdown. There it is, highs and lows right there. That's the nature of sports. And how much were those separated by? About a year. No, I guess they're separated by 2 years, weren't they? Harling would have been 06. Yeah. 2-year separation there. Philip, losing 3 in a row to BYU. Philip. Why you got to be like that, Philip? He's not the only one who posted that. Plenty of Cougar fans jumped in there. Tom losing his last 3 games against the Cougars. Travis goes the other end of the spectrum. Oh, the Pac-12 breakthrough. 2 words. Bowl eligible. Yawk, let it rip. Come on, Ute fans want to hear it. The people need to have their fun. Yawk.
No, the system's like
all right,
freezing up. So give me a second.
Okay. Travis said the best memory, this is one I've never heard of this one. He let me say something to the team at one of the practices right before the Sugar Bowl. Travis, you got to address the team? Sweet.
2 words. Bowl eligible.
Yeah. 6-1, beat USC after a pair of 5-7 seasons. There it was. Turning things around. Ryan has another locker room moment, though. This isn't no David and Goliath anymore. This is 2 giants squaring off. Now go out and take it. 1, 2, 3, family. 2015 Utah-Oregon pregame locker room speech in Eugene. Final score, Utah 62, Oregon 10. That's the famous game where PK was up at practice, back when you could do such a thing, and somebody walking past him, familiar with what was going on and what was about to happen. We got this. PK's like, yeah, okay, yeah. No, we got this. Oh, not a throwaway line. Dead serious. All right, well, you called your shot. Let's see how it plays out. Played out 62-10. We got this. Turned to be a spot-on analysis of what was about to happen. Well, it was only a matter of time before this memory was recalled. Traer says, the onside kick against Wyoming and the middle finger salute from the Wyoming coach. A classic. Oh, man.
Hey, Cowboy Joe did guarantee a victory in the student union, so.
That doesn't That doesn't count. That just doesn't count as trash talk.
Well,
You're talking to 10 students trying to rile up a fan base that in some cases got to drive 2, 4, 6 hours to get to a game. They're the only team in the state. And so he runs around and talks to every group, hyping it up, sell.
And that was Joe Glenn's style.
Which he should do.
Yes.
100% engage the fan base. You know, without fans, what you are? A lot poorer and playing intramurals, brother. As soon as the stadium is empty. Did you see the 60 Minutes on Indiana football and the shot they had of the game? And it's like, you know, back when the stadium was half full, they're talking to the team's biggest booster, John Mellencamp. Back when the stadium was half full, and Mellencamp comes out, whoa. It was not half full. That was the best. It was not half full. And they had a still photo of stadium. Man, that was the definition of smattering. They had a smattering of people. How many people is a smattering? Well, take a look at this photo of the Indiana football stadium. He should be out there selling. Yeah, we're going to beat him. Yeah. And Kyle. But that was younger Kyle. That would never happen now. Kyle, that would roll right off his back now. That was younger, more fired up. Got to be held accountable. And then Joe gets frustrated and then denies it in the postgame like, well, it was on TV, coach. Oh, okay. Hilarious. They both apologized. That was enough. Christie, when he commented on the leather pants that the female reporter was wearing when interviewing him. Classic. Kyle always notes clothing. He's got the eye for detail. I've been up to a gazillion practices up there in the 30 years he's been coaching. And one time.
Nice leather pants.
Nice. One time, I left the house a little late. I was in a hurry. I'd taken my shoes off in the garage, and I reached down, and talking to the kids and my wife or whatever. I pop on the shoes to get in the car to get there. I realized I put on my yard shoes, just all beat up. Stuff you use when you rake the leaves and mow the grass. Pull the ivy off the house. And I'm like, oh, that's not good. But what are you going to do at that point, right? Walk up, Kyle doesn't miss it. Nice shoes. He always notices that stuff. Now, that's a lot of the comments you expected. Here's a few comments that maybe you didn't expect, right? You figured there'd be a sugar bowl, and you figured there'd be two words, bowl eligible. And you figured it'd be a crack from a BYU fan about losing 3 in a row. That doesn't surprise you, although you love those memories. But here's some stuff you don't know. Joseph, I got a lot of great memories at Rice Eccles with some incredible wins, but my favorite memories of Kyle are personal ones. Meeting him with my daughter and seeing how genuinely kind and cool he was with her meant a lot. And after my nephew got out of Primary Children's Hospital following a horrible accident, Coach Whitt invited us up to the stadium to meet him and spend time with the team to help lift our spirits. That's something I'll never forget. Over the years, getting to run into him here and there, crack a joke, make him laugh, and see him shake his head, that's the kind of stuff that sticks with you. Great coach, but an even better human being. That is not a one-off. Brooks, we won a raffle to go meet with him in his office. I took my 2 boys with me, who were in grade school at the time. Coach treated my boys like they were Crimson Club members, not grade school boys. We got a tour of the facilities, and he took us to lunch, which was not a part of the package we won. We also had talked with him at a couple of meet and greets. All those times he seemed very genuine. Great guy on and off the field. And if you think these stories are new, how about this one from John? Old school John. When he played at BYU, and I was in junior high school, he came and spoke to a bunch of us at Kaysville Junior High. Very cool. BYU players getting sent to Kaysville Junior High. Wonder what the connection was with that. October 23, 2010, with a photo posted from Travis. When the Whittingham family learned of my 3-year-old's terminal diagnosis with brain cancer, they hosted my entire family pregame on the field. Jamie and Kyle Whittingham will always have a very special place in my family's heart. And Travis just posts a photo taken in the practice facility with his arm around Kyle, posing for the photo. A lot of those moments, a lot of people with great memories from a moment along the way. And Kyle making sure it gets spread out throughout the program. Elaine posts, Coach Whitt, has always been a hero in my eyes. He always made time to help others. I have nothing but respect and gratitude for him and his team. My fondest memory is when his wide receivers and Coach Micah Simon helped us distribute food to clients at our food bank. A ton of stories, and they keep going. It was a phenomenal run for Kyle Whittingham. Phenomenal. To take over a team in the Mountain West, there's a cliche out there, and we're going to use it again with Morgan Scalley, and we used it when Lavelle retired. But there's a cliche out there. When it comes to coaching, don't follow the man. Follow the man who follows the man. Give yourself a little breathing room. Don't follow the legend. Everything you do is going to pale in comparison, no matter how good you are. But Kyle followed Urban Meyer. They hadn't won a conference title outright in 45 years. And Urban did it 2 years in a row, and the second one was undefeated, and they busted the BCS when that seemed impossible. And then Kyle's like, yeah, I'll take a shot. He followed the man. And it worked out. Slow build. If you get bored today at work, go look, just Google Utes list seasons. And they'll give you every season. And what you'll see is like in every 3-year cycle, Kyle keeps getting better. His teams kept improving. First 3 years, they had a winning record. Next 3 years were all double-digit win seasons. The one time they went backwards, they went to the Pac-12. And they had an 8-win season, a couple 5-win seasons. And then they started posting 9-win seasons in a 3-year cycle. And then they had a 3-year cycle where they started going to conference title games. And then after COVID, I threw that one out. They had a 3-year cycle where they went to a couple of Rose Bowls. They just kept getting better. Always improve, build the program up a little, build it up a little more, build it up a little more. That consistency over 20 years, and we had multiple people here cite his loyalty, including some BYU fans, actually, who cited his loyalty to the U. Could have taken off. Had conversations, had people interested, but over the course of a couple of decades, and 3 decades, if you want to count his 3 decades plus, if you want to count his time as assistant coach, he stayed at the University of Utah. Just doesn't happen very often. Iowa, Oklahoma State, Utah, it's a short list. All right, DJ and PK, we got to take a break. We got more on Kyle. What should Kyle Whittingham do next? What is the next chapter? Didn't use the word retire in the release. And then there are people in the national media saying something else could come next. We will get to that next. Stay with us.